All right, this is Speak on It. Opportunity for us to make commentary on some of the current situations throughout, whether it be locally or whatever. And tonight we're going to be going real fast. This is December the 5th, the last program of the year, and we're thankful to CAN TV for allowing us the opportunity to get it out and get it in. Out of our mouth, into the air, into the ear of somebody that might be helped, inspired, and empowered as we go off into 2026. On the radio, people was asking about when you're going to do Epstein, when you're going to do Epstein. So last week we did Epstein and the people had nothing to say because they had been programmed by them democratic reptilians to believe the hype. So now we're going to just start off with Epstein and quite a bit of energy on this Crockett female that should be wearing David Crockett's coon cap, because this creature is the epitome of the worst thing that could have ever happened to a Negro in a position of power. Such a wretched, undignified, immoral creature. But hit that piece, brother, and let's get on with Epstein so we can get through with this, because we will run out of time if we don't.
Okay, so now that we know that President Trump was the person that actually snitched on Epstein, he was the one that actually reported Epstein, my question now is, now what? Now what? Because Democrats truly had a long time to release all of this stuff, and it never, ever, ever, ever got released. And then all of a sudden, President Trump's in office 1 year, and we're going to get all of these files. Now, my question is, now that you're going to see that President Trump is not in it, now what? Now what? Are you going to succeed that the other people are the problem and we need to get rid of them? Or are you going to just continue saying Orange Man bad? Like, my only question is, now what? Because now what? And, you know, we used to say snitches get stitches. So I think we're going to let the president get a pass on this snitching episode because of what they were doing to children, right? I think it's completely okay to snitch on people that are hurting children. So that's like a double positive for the president.
And see, the reason we want to bring it to you in slow motion is simply because of the fact that, you know, you closed down the government for 42 days, you blame Trump. But you did that, Democrats. So then you needed a distraction. So you come with this Epstein piece. Run this piece with this Crockett female and just run through those Crockett females. Then I make one comment and be through with that. But run through those, Mr. McDonald, and some of them we may even have to cut short. But let's just give people the flavor of how toxic this critter is.
We know that he's a nasty individual.
What do you make of his change of direction when it comes to wanting to release the Epstein files?
Oh, I don't think that there's a change of direction. I mean, I think that they finally came up with whatever their scheme is going to be to make sure that he is, quote unquote, protected from, you know, all of his dirtiest secrets being revealed. But the reality is that we know that he's a nasty individual. We know that he's a creep. I mean, we knew this. They knew this when they voted for him the very first time and the second time, and for those that voted for him the third time, because we had the tape, the Hollywood Access tape, where he was talking about grabbing women by the pee. We had the lawsuits that have been filed against him, where he and Jeffrey Epstein were named together as being rapists. So, like, this is a matter of people just not wanting to see what's in front of them. It's amazing how people can come up with, you know, all kinds of stories on people they don't like and then ignore the truth about people that they do like. And I don't understand why they like him so much, because he clearly don't like them. Because when 42 million people, and I know some of them had to be MAGA, when they needed to line up to get their EBT, and it wasn't nothing there, he didn't care. So, I think that people need to get back to prioritizing themselves and their families and their future instead of being dragged to hell by this dude who obviously has them in a cult.
Jasmine Crockett is learning a hard lesson the internet certainly won't forget.
Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio. I just want to be clear. If this is the standard that we're going to make, just know we're going to expose it all. And just know that the FEC filings, they are available for everybody to review.
Okay, now it's time to introduce Jasmine Crockett to the facts. Let's begin with Lee Zeldin. Crockett's team was so clueless, they didn't even notice the donations were made in 2020. Tiny issue here. Do you know what it is? Jeffrey Epstein, the sex offender, he died on August 10th, 2019. As in, he wasn't around to Venmo anybody in 2020. So Zeldin, he clapped back this morning with an absolute gem, writing, quote, "Yes, Crockett, a physician named Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who is a totally different person than the other Jeffrey Epstein, donated to a prior campaign of mine. No freaking relation, you genius." And as for Mitt Romney, the filings show exactly the same thing. Donations from a doctor named Jeffrey Epstein. Not that Jeffrey Epstein, not the island, not the plane, not the crimes. This is exactly what Trump was talking about. Reckless politicians and media people sprinting to the microphone, connecting dots that aren't even on the same page, and smearing people who either never met Jeffrey Epstein or barely knew him and never did a single thing wrong. Honestly, I say we censure Jasmine Crockett for her reckless accusations and plain old slander. If you're going to throw bombs on the House floor, at least fact check the return address first.
Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, I don't know at this point if I should feel sorry for you. I'm sure you're proud of your family name. How do you feel getting mixed up in that mess?
It's been a week of a disaster, if you might say. I was very happy with my name. I've had it longer than he has. Obviously, I'm still here and he's not. But to be implicated or even the insinuation that I am the pedophile, it was really pretty awful what she did. And she clearly, when she did her word scramble backpedaling on CNN the other night, those were just blatant lies. It's ridiculous.
Would you take legal action against her?
I had considered it, but of course, with the law, you cannot, because the comments were made on in the Senate floor, so you can't sue based on the constitutional law.
What about what she said on CNN? We're given a chance to get it right.
She certainly didn't get it right. If anything, she lied even further because she never once said a Jeffrey Epstein. She said Jeffrey Epstein. Clearly, she implied that Lee Zeldin, amongst others, had taken money from the pedophile. But let the record show that if you look in the filings, you also see that Jasmine Crockett took money from Jeffrey Epstein.
You know, I always feel sorry. I mean, I chose this life that I live to be in the public eye. But for people that don't choose it and they get smeared and slandered and besmirched, I've often given advice to friends that have gone through that.
Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor that doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people that
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein, just so that people understand when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring.
Now listen to this idiot. She knew that man, that doctor, was not the person of the conversation. But this low-level, scum, gutter-wag creature took this man and with that laugh in her throat and just threw him out there. And she knew better. It was her excuse. My staff didn't have but 20 minutes, da-da-da-da-da, woo-woo-woo-woo, they didn't see his picture. And we just Googled it. You know, for a person to be in public office that stupid and ignorant is a disgrace, especially to the Negro race. And say she's a daughter of a preacher man. They must be a bunch of damn sinners, because if they produce that creature, they should have definitely been back in the old days where David Crockett had his shotgun looking for coons to wear on his head and found her ancestors. I'm gonna leave that alone. But that creature there, I hope Abbott and those people in Texas can truly find a way to move her out of any district where she can have anything to do with politics or anything upright, because she has disgraced herself, that man, and every Negro slave, every ancestor that worked for dignity and responsibility. And she is nothing but a damn reptilian, a Democrat. Go on, brother. Matter of fact, skip the rest of that Crockett and go to the next thing after the Crockett's. I'm tired of looking at her stink mouth. But while he getting to that,
the three major Democratic candidates, Raja Krishnamoorthi, Robin Kelly, and Juliana Stratton, have been raising money and stockpiling endorsements for months now. But as these faith leaders have been evaluating the race, they felt now is the time to come together for Krishnamoorthi.
So we need to trust Raja, trust him with our vote, trust him with our feet on the ground.
Dozens of black pastors from around the state gathered to deliver an ecumenical endorsement today in the U.S. Senate race, rallying behind Raja Krishnamoorthi.
We don't need another politician. We need a public servant.
Hi, Raja. Krishnamoorthi taking time over a luncheon gathering on the West Side to greet and chat with clergy members, some of whom he's known for a decade.
For me, I've known him for over 10 years. He's a person of integrity. He's supported me. I feel like he will make a tremendous gift from Illinois to the United States Senate.
Others said this endorsement was not a knock on Congresswoman Robin Kelly or Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, but instead a nod to Krishnamoorthi.
He understands that people are hurting. He understands that inflation is really impacting people in black and brown communities at astronomical levels.
And these folks know better than anyone else what those challenges are. And so they know that given that I am, tasked, I'm laser-like focused on addressing those economic challenges.
Both Kelly and Stratton responding that they too have received numerous endorsements from black clergy, but what they don't have is Krishnamoorthi's war chest. The latest federal filings show he has more than $18 million cash on hand, while Kelly has just under $2 million and Stratton only half of that. These pastors insist their endorsement is not about Krishnamoorthi's fundraising. He is hoping their support will boost his backers in the months ahead.
Although the endorsements of these 100-plus pastors means the world to me, I'm seeking the endorsement of the voters of Illinois.
While it can be hard to measure the impact of endorsements, Krishnamoorthi is vowing to make sure that voters will remember this day and this group of supporters, even though the primary is still 4 months away.
Now look, see that Crockett creature and that Maxine Waters creature, those two black African-American slave males, those two are why Negroes that got common sense would choose, those preachers, those Negroes chose an Indian man versus either one of those black females, both of which are already in political office. See, people are sick and tired, particularly of you damn black African-American, big mouth, ghetto acting, ghetto sounding pimps. What do you think you are? When people look at Crockett and Waters, and then they look at these two, yes, they'll choose something other than a black, Negro, descendant African American to represent them. Because they know, just like these two have been in office and are in office, and they ain't got no whole lot to show for that, why would you put them in the Senate when they ain't done nothing in the positions they're in worth recognizing? So they will choose somebody else. And I understand that. We sick of y'all. You people go to Washington or wherever you go, and you don't look out for the business and the welfare of the community. And you think we're supposed to keep electing you because you black and you female. Hell no. Those type of people like Maxine Waters and that Crockett gal, those people should never be allowed to do nothing but be made in some damn place where you cleaning up garbage, because that's what they are. And then they supposed to be examples of leadership. I salute those preachers. They had enough sense to say no, just because you black, colored, and African American, that don't mean, and we know you won't, do any better than that Lightfoot woman did and that little boy down on the 5th floor. We through with y'all. And we're gonna get to Pappas in a minute. And in case we don't, I hope she do run, because she's probably done more than all of the Negro, or should I say all of the black African American politicians in this whole damn state. All of them combined. That one woman, I guess she's a Greek or Italian, but she got more accomplished for Negroes than all of you damn colored African American slave black behind pimps and parasites. Go on to the next one, man.
She actually describes, the treasurer, she actually describes what's happening in Chicago.
Well, this month, some homeowners in Cook County in for a shock when it comes to their property tax bills. Some bills going up 100%. Cook County Treasurer's Office did a property tax analysis, and Treasurer Maria Pappas joining me now to talk about that study. I really appreciate you being here, Treasurer. So let's just get right to it. I mean, the sticker shock is real. What did your office find?
We found that when commercial went down, residences went up.
But when you say went up, we're talking by how much here?
By taxes. So it depends upon the neighborhood. Generally, across the city, everything's up 16%, which is kind of scary, okay? But in West Garfield Park, it's up 133%, okay? So in African-American neighborhoods, North Lawndale is up 98%. And 82% in Englewood. So you're saying, how in the world did this happen?
Yeah.
This happened because the commercial base of the city, all these high-rises, commercial buildings that you see downtown are unrented because the businesses have left the city.
And that means they're not paying property taxes.
Yeah, so somebody had to pick it up. So the residences are picking it up. So if you think about it, we had just done a study saying that African American and Latinos don't appeal their property taxes. Only 27,000 out of the 200,000 appealed. So the residences, aren't appealing. What can you do about it? We came up with a payment plan calculator. We have reduced interest rate from 18% to 9%. So not on December 15th, the due date, but on December 16th, you can go to my website and set up a 13-month payment plan. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay on December 15th. You can pay December 16th by setting up a payment plan for 13 months. And that really helps people. The next thing that you can do is you need to vote. If you don't like this, you are part of the 80% of the people who did not vote in the last election. And I see this every day. Every day people are complaining to me. And so I'm like, did you vote? No. Did you vote? No. Did you vote? No. So you have to appeal as a resident. You have to get up, get out, and vote instead of complaining. And then the third thing is you need to read your tax bill. At the top of the tax bill, it says, where did your money go? If you look at where did your money go, what it tells you is that over 60% of the money in the city of Chicago is going to the Board of Education. Or in many instances, right up front, it will tell you the tax increment financing district that it's going to. So where does your money go? Shows you how much it went up and how much it went down and where it went.
What?
I'm telling you, I warned you. We 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 tried to tell you. We tried to convince you. Hey, listen, you don't want to keep doing this, but you want to be woke.
The White House calls out Democrats' soft on crime policies after a woman is set on fire by a career criminal in Chicago. In a press release on Tuesday, the White House blasted Chicago's no cash bail law that was signed by Governor J.B. Pritzker and celebrated by Mayor Brandon Johnson. That allowed a criminal with 72 prior arrests to walk free. They add that a 26-year-old woman is now fighting for her life after the suspect allegedly doused her in gasoline and set her on fire aboard a Chicago train last week. President Trump also condemned Johnson and Pritzker for refusing the federal government's help in tackling crime, arguing the residents do want their help.
We could make Chicago a safe city in a period of 4 weeks. In a period of 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, it would be totally safe. And the people of Chicago want us to go there.
The White House added soft on crime policies are failing American communities and they are endangering law-abiding citizens.
All right, we won't have time to do the rest of them, but just remember, a day or so ago, another crazy savage pushed the handicap on the CTA train. And the only thing this little boy down on the fifth floor can say, basically is what he said about the white woman, that other 72 offensive, savage. Because they had stopped being humans long time ago. But this damn fake safety bill allows these killers, or wannabe killers, and probably have killed people, to just terrorize the community. And all that dude can say, it's an isolated situation. See, that's why we need to pay attention. And we need to have somebody other than these damn black African Americans elected to these offices. These black African Americans, they don't give a damn about the Negro. And until next time, Merry Christmas and happy, prosperous, healthy New Year. Now go, you can get the other clip if you got it.